This video will review how to access and use annotations within IHS Piper. When you first run a forecast on a model, you will notice that no annotations are shown on the screen by default. Why might this be? If we look above the GIS, you will find the Annotation Display Options feature, which opens a new dialog. From this dialog, you can choose to add annotations to facilities based upon their type. I'm going to choose delivery in this case. On the left, there's a list of all the types of data that are available for any given facility type, and you'll notice that this list is quite extensive. The reason that no annotations are shown on screen by default is that if the alternative were all annotations are shown on screen, it would be a very busy interface indeed. So how do we go about adding annotations to our map? Simply look in the list of attributes and results and select those items that are of interest to you. In this case, I've got the entity name as well as the delivery pressure. You need to choose to show the setting, as well as if you'd like to have a box drawn around it and an anchor or a line from the annotation to the item those annotations belong to. If you would like, you can also select to have a background color. And I'm just going to say OK. You'll notice that an annotation for the delivery point is now shown on screen. It has the name as well as the delivery pressure as I'd requested. There is a box around the annotation and an anchor connecting that annotation back to the delivery point. Another way of accessing the annotations is to use the drop list, and in this case I'm going to select facility type wells. Because wells have different attributes than do delivery points, the list of available annotations will be different. In this case, I'm going to ask for the line pressure as well as the in situ gas rate. Again, I'm going to ask to show those annotations, put a box around them, add an anchor, and this time I'm going to make the background color maybe blue. We're going to increase the transparency, and I'm going to say OK. And again, here's the annotation for wells in this case. What if I wanted to annotate the pipe links? A third way of accessing annotations is to simply right-click on an item, select it, go to Annotation, and Edit. Again, there's a list of attributes and results. I'm going to ask for frictional pressure loss in this case. I'm going to add a frame, an anchor, and show it. Let's add a background color, perhaps green, and maybe let's take that frame off just so you can see what that appearance looks like. I'm going to say OK, and here is our annotation. Now what if I wanted to annotate this second link? If I right-click, pick it, and go to Annotation, I'm going to go back into Edit, and you'll notice that the settings are not the same as those for the already annotated link above it, where we have it in green with an anchor and no outline, showing the frictional pressure loss. Why might that be? I'm going to draw your attention to the OK button here in the Facility Annotation Editor. Previously, that is the button that I clicked, which applies any settings I've made within this annotation editor simply to that single annotation. However, if I use the Apply to All button, all the settings within this Facility Annotation Editor for, in this case, all links, will apply to every link within the model. So let's try that. I'm going to go ahead and ask for frictional pressure loss. Let's show that annotation. We're going to put a frame on it with no anchor, and let's make the background color maybe pink. I'm going to say Apply to All, and then OK. And you will notice now that every link has an annotation. That annotation is pink, has a border, and has no anchor, including the annotation that we had previously had colored in green. So simply by picking that Apply to All feature, you can make your annotations for a certain type of entity all the same. Another way to modify how annotations may or may not be shown is to simply right-click on an annotation and elect to either show it or not. And in that way, you can quickly modify which annotations are visible on screen and which are not. Finally, one frequently asked question that we get is why annotations are not visible on the screen even though you have selected them. I am going to turn the Property Manager on. You'll notice it appears in the pane over on the far left, and I'm going to pick the Layers view. Notice here, under Project Layers, there is one called Facility Annotations. If this box is not checked, no annotations will show on your map, even if you have set them up to have a status of show. So this is another way that you can quickly decide to show all or none of your annotations globally. This concludes this short video on how to add and manage annotations in a Piper model.